B.R. Bhatia, also from New Delhi, is looking at sequence science. Let's listen in to this query. And, you know, a lot of questions on whether or not some of these are the right investments or one should be looking at alternative choices. Listen in to this particular question.
Mr. Udayan, I've got sequence science shares at the rate of ₹300. I'm holding it, say, for the last 2-3 months. Could I hold it further, or should I book loss or switch to any other shares, if you can suggest something? Thank you.
Well, you've gotten at a high price point. You know, the entry price is not great for you because, you know, the stock had gone up quite a lot, Sequence Scientific, from 100 to 300. You bought at the top end. I mean, I think you went up to, or topped out at 325, 330. And then the stock has come off to about 175, 180 levels. So you've lost quite a bit. I mean, you're sitting on significant losses out there. I think the correction is a factor of how quickly Sequent had gone up, because it seems like a good company. As you will know, that it was carved out of Strides Arcolab. Their animal health business became Sequent Scientific, and it has very good parentage now because Carlyle, the private equity player, is the majority shareholder in Sequent. So it's not like it's a bad promoter group or anything like that. Animal health per se is a promising area because growth indicators are good, and Sequent Scientific has presence not just in India but a fairly significant presence in countries like Turkey and in other parts of Europe. Carlyle's presence in the management also will unlock some doors for many other destinations and different product categories. So per se there is nothing wrong with Sequent Scientific really. The business is good, and I think the price needs to consolidate, and I would probably be a bit patient and hold out without being too despondent about the losses which have been incurred since you entered the company. Maybe give it some more time, but I admit that it's been a disappointment over the last few months, but maybe give the management a little bit more time.
Okay, we have time for one more. Arjun Jain from Nagpur has M&M, and you know, let's listen in to his query, particularly given the kind of tumult that we've been seeing on some of the auto names.
Hi Udayan, good to see you. I am Arjun Jain from Nagpur. My query is pertaining to M&M, Mahindra & Mahindra. I am holding shares from 2016 at the price of 916, and the shares are approximately 100 shares. Should I hold it, or should I exit? Because if on the compounding basis, it's hardly getting 2% to 3% return. So what is the future of Mahindra & Mahindra?
It's a tricky space out there, and I, hand on heart, cannot say that you will make a ton of money from M&M in the future from here on. I don't know how this auto space will play out, because it's an excellent management, Mahindra & Mahindra, and the stock is very cheap. I mean, it trades at about what, something like an 11-12p multiple. So there's nothing wrong with the valuations or the management as such. But you know, the space is probably struggling a little bit. I mean, as you can see, that tractor sales are very sluggish over the last few months, and this year will probably be a bit of a washout year for tractors. Sure, on the SUV front, M&M is doing better. I mean, and initial indications of the kind of sales and order pipeline in XUV 700 and Thar are both quite encouraging. So I think the SUV piece is not looking bad. But in the future, to unlock value from M&M, I think they'll have to come up with a really credible EV plan, electric vehicles plan. And on that, we are not terribly clear which way M&M will swing, because that really is where the money will be made going forward in the auto space, not in traditional vehicles. So you can hold on to this stock. I don't think you'll lose a lot of money, particularly because the subsidiaries are very, very valuable in M&M. You know, of this 900 rupees share price, maybe 300-400 rupees is just coming from the subsidiaries, which is your investments in technology and finance, which M&M has. The rest is the core business, which is the lumpy, tricky one. So I don't know, my guess would be that M&M will probably trade in a bit of a range, not lose too much money, not make too much money in the next year or two.